This video is a step-by-step instructions on how to get Morse code set up on Reaper. First thing we need to do is go get Reaper. So I'm using the beta. And if you go to this page here, and all these will be in the show notes. If you have a 386, got Mac, here's a 64-bit, and this will work for 64R 32-bit. Go ahead and download that and install it. You can use the versions here too, but I think the beta have a better bandpass filter, and I'll show you that in a second here. The other thing I like is this SKOPE plugin. You can go here and get that and just download it, and I'll show you where to put that in a second. Okay, so once you've got Reaper downloaded, just go through the basic install instructions and follow the default patterns. Then when you bring it up for the first time, you'll get a blank screen. It won't have these 2 meters or these 2 tracks, but I need to get this started so I can show you, and then I'll get rid of this Morse code track and we'll start from scratch. The Reaper has its own plugins, and that's all you need. And here's where we start. We have a regate, and this triggers the audio coming into the mic jack, and that threshold is set right here. And if you want to listen to the tone, that's what it sounds like coming into mic jack. And this is the synthesizer, and that's the Apple filter, the 12-pole filter, bandpass filter. So here's the sine wave synthesizer that regate keys because of this MIDI note. Send MIDI note 77 is about 700 Hertz. Very close to it. And because my tone is around 6 or 7K, something up in there, I'm just having this filter here to weed out the rest of it. And that makes for better stable incoming on the mic jack. And we don't need this because that's the original tone, since we're creating a new tone. And here's what the spectrum looks like. And this is the scope I was talking about. I think that's a great scope and worth the investment of the trouble of going to get it to download. Now this pre-open is set at 1 millisecond. The others just go to 0. Release go to 0. This is just to filter whatever your tone is, and it doesn't matter how good or bad the tone is as long as it's stable. So I have my K1EL keyer and the paddles just sending a harsh tone, which you heard, into the mic jack. Then it triggers this threshold here on regate at about -23. That's when the threshold sets. If you get it down too long, it starts making the dits a little bit heavy in weight. Let me get this down a little bit so we can demonstrate. But you'll notice that, and you can trim it up. But you just want it to barely activate. So that's close enough. Resynth. This comes stock except for the attack and release, and all I did was change those to 4. So just wipe it out, click 4. On the release it'll have something else, just put 4 in there and you're good to go. And you don't have to worry about the rest of them because it comes stock. As soon as you bring this plugin up, it comes stock. And for here, the drop down menus are there. We're doing a high pass and low pass at 36 dB of an octave. In the cutoff sliders, I've set to 500 and 900, and the tone itself is 700, so it's kind of in between that. And as you see, the HP there, it's going up and down. So we'll get that right about there. That's all you have to worry about there. I have this set to 16.384 for the FFT size. Pretty good spectrum. And the waveform looks excellent. Okay, so let's take all these out and put them back. So we'll remove every one. So let's go to the Reaper settings and then we'll come back to this. When you first bring Reaper up, go to Options. Okay, you won't be able to hear my audio, but I'm just going to go through the scenes and I'm going to tell you which ones by pointing my cursor at it. When you bring up the options, it closes down the audio. So let's see if we can do this, and you just watch what I do here. So Options and Preferences, and then I'll go through the things you need to change. Okay, now we should be back on. Those are the only settings you have to worry about. Set up the audio, and it'll usually bring that screen up first. Okay. So then the other thing you want to do is hit Control T, and that brings up another track. Click that red there. Click this. And for me, I would want input 1 and 2 for the mic jack, since this will be having the Reaper audio settings. Then right click here and say Monitor Input. That's all you need to do. Make sure that speaker icon is like this. So I'm going to hit Delete and get rid of that. Then you can double click in here and name of the track. So we have Monitor Input. That's all you have to check on that. And then left click here and click your input. So we'll do it that way. So there it is, it's coming in. So you can test your audio tone right away. That's what mine sounds like coming in the mic jack. And you need to make sure your mic jack recording input is set pretty low, so that it doesn't blow out the input. So there's my microphone and Windows recording properties. Let's go to the levels. You see mine set to 2. Very low. That's all you need. Anything more than that, it causes trouble. And I also have everything set to 48K on sample rate and 480 buffers, which gives about 10 millisecond delay, which is hardly anything. You won't notice that. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is click this FX, and that's where all the Reaper plugins will come in. So then in this, we're going to G for regate. So we're going to select that. So this is what it comes. So get rid of that release all the way to 0, attack to 0, pre-open 1. And this is just a starting. Send MIDI note 77, plus or minus according to your pitch. Click that to send a MIDI note. Then I'm going to get the filter so that it covers what's coming in my mic jack. It covers the peaks. So that's pretty close. So then we need to bring this up to the threshold. And maybe a little bit more. And that's the main thing here. So that's ready to go for the next one. And this is the output for the original tone. We don't need that, so now you don't hear it. Okay, so the next one is ReaSynth. A synth. Right there. So click that one on. That's what it looks like when you start out. The attack is at 3. We're going to change that to 4 milliseconds on the rise time. And on the release, same one. 4 milliseconds on the release. You can set that however you like. Now let's hear. So that's what that sounds like. Maybe good enough, but I like to use a bandpass filter. So we're going to use this Apple 12 pole. Click OK. So this HP slope and the LP slope are off on default, so figure out how many you want for poles. I start out here myself. 36 dB. Then take the cutoff scale and try to go below and above your target pitch. Mine's 700 Hertz. So we're going to bring it up to 5 and bring the low pass down to 900. Right about there. Okay. So now we'll see what it sounds like. See if you can hear any difference here. It's subtle unless you're using headphones. But now let's bring up the spectrum. So just put SPEC, spectrum analyzer meter. Take this FFT up to 16. So now let's take the 12 pole filter out and see what the spectrum looks like. So you get a lot more bass components and some high frequency hash. So to me that's worth it. And I like that scope to see what the waveform looks like. So let's go SKOPE right there, scope. And need to take the mode from free to live. That's what it's going to look like. And for me, the buffer size was 0.169, so at my words per minute here, you get a much steadier oscilloscope reading. So that gives you a really good look at the waveform. And we'll take the filter out and see if that makes a difference. So it's not changing the waveform. That's a really good filter. I like that. This 12 pole filter. Okay, that's basically the setup now. So now you're able to bring a Morse code audio tone into your mic jack, change it from a very harsh square wave or Razzie into a very professional sounding shaped waveform, and it sounds really good to me. It goes right to the sound card if you just follow these things that I just did. Let's go back to take a look at that scope now. Once you've downloaded it, it comes as a zip, so unzip it, and this is what it looks like. And you're going to need to copy that, which I've already done. Then you need to place it. Follow me here. It may be a little bit different if you're not on Windows 7. So we're going to go to Users, QRQ, that's whatever you have your name is. App Data, Roaming, go down to Reaper, and go to Effects. Now I just pasted that in the miscellaneous folder here, and there it is. I've already copied it. Once you've done that, it'll show up. You may have to rescan for it to get in there. This is my USB microphone. I have it also on WASAPI exclusive mode and going to this plugin called ReaStream, which is really nice. So I have a second Reaper going that's just doing the USB mic. Okay, so then again I'm going to go in here, but you'll lose the mic. But I'm going to show you in the preferences where to rescan. It's in a VST. Options, reference. Okay, so stand by for a second, watch. You may not have to worry about that because it may rescan every time when you bring this up anyway and you click add. A lot of stuff in here too. Let me get rid of that and show you. Here's all plugins. And some of these I've added, and you just rescan and go to the folder where you place all your VST plugins. But there's all kinds of stuff to mess around with. Great for ham radio, just great. Okay, that's basically the step-by-step setup to get a Morse code practice oscillator built up with Reaper. Thanks for watching.